Bane?
The Shaman over Bane?
Yeah.
I think it's probably a lot of to do with the spirits, right? You see the Coddle, you're expecting like a Storm and Ember to come out, and the Shaman is just like a bit faster. He has less cast times to take the Hex off compared to like the Sleep or the Grip.
Okay. Even though they end up then banning the Ember Storm.
Well, that's...
I guess they didn't know when they picked them.
Well, they picked the Mars Shaman after the Coddle, so it was like kind of like a block pick.
Yeah.
TK stocks are going up so hard, guys. Just invest. Invest.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Why do you think it's being favored so much?
Oh, this hero
Or
just,
doing
like,
so well?
shits out damage, man. Just so much. It's just
What the?
like he's so strong in lane. He just like he has a kill lane. Really, like in most of his lanes, he's a kill lane. Pair that with something like Ogre, you guys are just gonna go to town. You could even put Coddle with him. This could even be an off lane CK. We don't even know what they're wanting to do with it yet.
Please, no.
I like it.
I hate it.
No, I love it.
Everyone who plays offlane CK.
Wow, I've
Please
missed
stop
you
it.
guys arguing. It's been so long. It's been so long.
Okay, well,
Alright, so I can explain why they want
Go
CK here, right? Mars doesn't like illusion heroes, right?
Yep.
Because the spear,
but you just get shot. Haha.
yeah, but CK has a lot of illusions, and the reason why CK is also popular, we kind of talked about the Wraith King versus Mars. Having sustain versus Mars is nice because he spams you a lot in the lane, and the Chaos Strike heals you, so he just keeps hitting creeps, farming, and then later on, Mars can't do much to like all the illusions that are gonna come out from CK. He'll just get melted. And Razor is absolutely terrible versus CK, but very good versus Dragonite, and 23 Savage loves the hero. So this is probably like they're not even worried about the CK right now, which I feel like they should be. But
The two sides of 23 Savage. He just goes from a Medusa into a Razor. Just complete opposites.
those are his most to play heroes, though.
And he's so good at both of them. You know, it's just you'd love to see a man that can flex his playstyle.
But what do you like do here now if you're Apes? Do you consider putting this DK mid? I think so, and maybe pick up something spicy like the Quap off lane versus the Razor. That could be a possibility, or you just suck it up and you play a Coddle DK off lane, and you're just gonna nuke the waves anyway. And Razor is gonna free farm, but you should get your farm as well. That would be a solid choice. But if they want to try and win the lanes, I actually wouldn't mind them going DK mid and picking, a Viper would be fine, a Quap would be fine. That comes to mind to like try and win versus Razor, at least contest the lane.
What about you, Cheap? Is that what you want to see? Or do you still really want that Chaos Knight 4? Sorry, it was 4?
Chaos Knight off
3.
lane.
3.
Yeah. What's the build
don't
on
think
3
so.
CK? 'Cause I always like see this Echo Saber trash build.
I mean, you could. I mean, there's still just a Blink Shard you could go, or
I mean, you get the shard regardless. It's such a good
Yeah.
shard. Like every carry CK gets it.
I miss the old days when you'd buy the Ags on the offlane CK, and then Valve was like, "Oh, CK's in the meta, guys. Time to nerf him again. Back away for 2 years."
A very fun meta. I say it's like everyone just gets an illusion, just split push the map.
Yeah, it was
Just
great fun,
react.
and it dispelled as well. It was big fun.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you looking for here?
I don't know. I kind of just agree with what you said about the offlane heroes you want to see there.
Well, I mean, for Apes, like, what does your heart want? Do you want to see them like do something like standard and pick a mid here, or do you want to see them like try
pick
to
up the
win
leaner
versus the
again.
Razor?
mind seeing something more fun than DK from Among Dai. I mean, he's just
Alright, so you just
solid
wanted to
enough
sack the
mid.
DK then, okay.
Hell yeah, like pick a Puck and just go wild. Or the Shrek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Conka Quap Band, is there an Invoker in the game? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why do you say autumn?
Talon should... Most people who pick Leshrac always ban the Invoker. It's a really bad matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a Coddle in the game, so he can alleviate a bit of the mana issues. But they still might go for it. Conka is also very good versus the Leshrac. Pugna, could that be fun this game? Wait, it kills not CK illusions.
Yeah,
not
no,
CK
nothing kills
illusions.
the CK illusions.
So that one's not so good.
It's all the fun of thinking about things. I mean,
I like Invoker still, regardless. Like, there's a lot of control for the CK illusions. Good damage.
There's a spirit in the game, guys. Void Spirit snuck through.
Void Spirit is
He
not my
snuck through last game too. He
favorite.
didn't get banned.
No, all this.
For Celestrack, are you insane?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying there's a spirit in the game.
Oh, it's just a general
Oh, that's
statement.
it.
Just
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
That's what our heart wants.
there's a meeple in the game too.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What else is in there? There's Attackers too.
There's a Techies. There's a
There's so
Huskar.
much.
We're just naming random heroes
Yeah.
now.
There's Sniper is in the pool actually.
Fan King 2, guys. Crazy.
Yeah, that hero's too relevant. Lena,
It
hi.
does come out.
That's just boring.
Okay.
It's
You
only
know what?
cool when
It's
Mum
fine.
Guy does it.
Well, they saw how good he did, so they wanted to pick it for themselves over on Talon. You know, you guys are boring, so I'm going to bring in Danog and Ares. I didn't know how I was going to bring them in, so instead I'm
Apologies.
just going to insult you guys and bring them in.
Aw.
But do you guys like where they're going? Do you guys favor the CK for Apes, Ares?
It's interesting. You know, definitely the hero is rising in popularity, so I'm intrigued to see if it's going to have success or not. But we'll see. It's can match up decently well into the Razor, like Fear was saying, but it's just a question of how they even looking to play this as well for Apes. Like you could still put the Lesh as a 1 if you really want to get the favorable matchup, but which they might be doing. Among Dire is playing the DK now. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. So it's a 3 CK. What?
Oh, Sheepo, you're gonna be happy. 3 CK.
Strength
Wow.
and
By the way,
power.
what was-
all that arguing with Fear paid off. I'm so glad.
Yeah. What was the influence for the outfits there, by the way, Sheepo? You look like a detective or a female Ludwig.
Hey,
What's going
don't
on?
judge her.
I'm just.
I'm not judging anything. I'm
wearing
asking
the
a genuine
inverse
question.
of Nat T's outfit.
Yeah, I got the
Just-
white skirt, the black top.
And I
She's
got
got
the
the
white-
black skirt, white
Black-
top.
Yeah.
Oh,
We just wanted
Love
to be
it.
opposites of each other.
We did. We just.
She's
wa-
got all the Dota knowledge and I've got none.
Yeah, we're just complete opposites. You know how it be.
Everything. All right, then I'm gonna do time guesses again for how long you think, and going off the back of Ares, you have to do seconds as
Seconds.
well. Yeah,
Yes,
seconds.
yes.
Obviously, Ares. Obviously.
Come on, you have to know this by now.
32 minutes, 18 seconds.
What?
Let's go.
2 minutes, 18 seconds.
32.
Oh,
No,
30
two-
I thought
two
I only had
minutes.
2.
Oh, I'll go for 2 if you want. 2 minutes
Nope.
and 18 seconds.
Fia?
35 minutes and 27 seconds.
I'm gonna go 43 and 40 seconds.
Idiots, you're so far off the 2 minute mark. You
We're gonna lose
dumb.
so
I'm gonna go
bad.
2 minutes 19 seconds, Sheepo.
No!
All right, well, Ares, you can do your guess as we head into game number 2.
Thank you, Nat. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. So
Easy.
just need to. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you can't be right. Do you want to give another one? What you said? Two something? A little bit ahead of
219,
Sheepo.
1 second more than Sheepo. I honestly think this game is going to be very different from game number 1, right? Like, you had a Medusa in the previous game. This game, it's like all aggression. Yes, you still can be patient to hit up some of those early-ish timings, but this isn't a game where you want to sit back, farm, reach a level 25. I feel like both teams want to get very aggressive. You've got great tower push with the Phantasm, with the Elder Dragon form, with the Leshrac. That's enabled by the
UK?
Keeper of the Light. He's just he's body checking if there's a ward there. Very standard POS 5 play. And then on Talon as well, right? You've got Alina, very strong early on. Razor, very strong early on. You've got a Shadow Shaman with the Mass Serpent ward. So
What can
it's
you do,
it's a lot of
brothers?
pushing potential. So I feel like this game could honestly be done in, I'm gonna say 26 minutes and 1 second.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay. All right. I feel like did someone say 27 minutes already?
What can you do?
Ah,
Let's say
this
no.
is- Yeah. Okay.
I think they
Well,
were all,
anyway.
like, mid to late 30s, honestly.
Anyway, I'm gonna go. We'll go 25-11.
Bruh.
25 minutes 11. What?
Okay. All right. So you're close to me, but not like what I did to Sheepo.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I wasn't even listening to your suggestion.
I hate it.
No, what I was actually trying to find out is the position 3 player on Brame. Is it 11?
11, yes.
Yeah, because I was just going to mention, of course, their victory over
Skylark. Old
Secret.
Skylark.
Yeah, and he was playing the Chaos Knight offlane, and I think if you can get items, it can be decent. Though Fear's a bit of a CK position 3 hater, which is a cool hero. You know, he's gone Windlace first item just to try and avoid the Razor's aggression in the lane. But I guess, is he really going to get those items? Because this is a really, really tough lane into Razor and Weaver.
It is for sure, but it can go the other way, right? Like, you get level 2 with this Keeper of the Light and Chaos Knight. Very easy setups for the Illuminate. You just need Reality Rift and the Chaos Bolt. You refresh it again with a Chakra Magic. There is some distinct kill threat here against 23 Savage, while the Static Link is just level 1.
So the thing I like about the Chaos Knight late stage is the Ag Scepter. I think it's very, very strong if you have a good hero that can pair with the illusions. Of course, in that game, it was the Anti-Mage in the Brain game, but also just the Dispel that's able to provide global is really nice. But again, how much Dalul is going to be able to get out of this, you feel like once they get level 2, they should be okay?
I feel like they can.
Oh my.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
This is the difficult thing, right? Like, it's going to be based on how Talon are looking to position the lane itself. So if it's pushed up here underneath the tower, not going to happen, right? Because you're going to have the extra protection point from obviously having the tower there to save you, the extra armor. You're not going to go for any kind of dives. So that's why it's very important that this sentry ward is still blocking up the hard camp there to protect any kind of pulp threat, and mean that this wave is always up here. So Talon, even though I feel like the lane could have gone quite nicely for Apes, it's probably not going to do so.
And I think the other side lane for Apes with UK on the Ogre once again and Jikro on the Lesh, this is something they have flexed before. Jikro actually plays a pretty decent Lesh track, and especially when you have a point target stun like the Fire Blaster set up for Jikro. But yeah, UK's in trouble. Mars has actually gone for a 0-1-1 build, so no point in the spear. He will not be able to get the kill over on UK.
It's surprising, actually, that he went for the point in the bulwark so early on. Maybe just trying to redirect some of those right clicks into his shield instead of to disrupt some of the CS. I don't know.
We'll see. Again, this is, I think, something we actually saw Apes pull out a couple times in their open qualifier run to try and make it into Division 2. So Jikro is comfortable on it, but it's going to be super important for him. I feel like a lot of the damage through the early to mid game is going to be reliant on Jikro, because Razor can just soak away the Dragon Knight's impact, potentially the Chaos Knight as well if he gets a full link on Chaos Knight. So eyes on Jikro this game. He had a tricky game 1 on that Juggernaut pick, but I believe on the Lesh.
I believe on the Lesh as well, as they're looking to make some more aggression happen against KP. He's got all those stick charges though, so I think he should be just fine. Go for the chase with the Lightning Storm.
UK. Yeah. I'm going to look to turn Fire Blast to be able to set up Jikro. So as the Lightning Storm available, when they level 1, but UK beating down away the health pool on to hide. So UK finds our first blood of game 2.
Costing a lot of resources though, they're out, so it was very important for them to get that kill. You've got a Null Talisman coming out again for the Leshrac, but UK needs to make sure that he's consistently buying up a lot of this region as they're going to go for another dive, but that just means they're even drier than they were before.
A lot of heroes across the map are pretty low in the health department. As we see mid lane, it's really favored for Makoto. 19-11 compared to the 13-6. And another hero that they're pretty comfortable on among Dire. He's got a really good Dragon Eye. I know she was saying, wanting him to be on a bit more of an active hero, but I think this is one of the only like non-active heroes that I actually don't mind seeing him play.
Would you even call DK an inactive hero these days since the change?
Savage top lane. Hang on a second. How's it this low? Dalul, that's a gigantic kill to find on a Razor who's supposed to be a lane dominator. He's going to try and turn this around.
Without the Reality Rift as well. The Chaos Strike obviously helping out his regen in the laning stage, but the fact they're able to get a kill with it, that's really surprising.
It's cool what they're going for, just like the Chaos Bolt spam with the Illuminate spam. You were mentioning this before, that they have a way to set up for this magic damage, and very interesting for Dalul, but it's obviously working out for them at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Lim
should go down. Right. We also have the Ogre dropping bottom lane, and top lane Coddle's even going to join him in the afterlife as well, as they're chasing Jikro. Doesn't have enough mana for the Lightning Storm or any other ability, and now Hyde having the ability back off cooldown, so he gets himself a double kill.
Going quite well there. I still feel like, I don't think we even gave our Our team
not.
prediction. I
Yeah.
was going to go with Talon for this one, just because I feel like the Lina, the Razor, there's not going to be too much that Apes are going to be able to do to deal with a lot of that. And I always love me a Q Weaver. Since his Motivate Trust days, it's always been a staple for him, that's for sure.
I too was going to mirror that. Not that they're not saying it just because they're 3 kills up and a little bit of a net worth advantage. What? I was just going to say, what can we see out of Apes to be able to utilize the Dragonite early on? Are you hoping for supports to rotate mid, or maybe Mamang Dai is going to put a little bit more of his attention onto maybe top?
I think he needs to be the one to make a bit of a rotation, right? Like, you don't really want to do it as a Dragon Knight. You want to constantly put that lane pressure on. But I feel like Talon, again, it's kind of like what Fierce said on the panel about last game. Talon were very patient. They knew that they had these key timings that they need to hit, and then the game was theirs. It seems pretty similar for me for this one around, right? Like, 23 Savage isn't reinventing the wheel with his build. You could see, like, it's just the wand into the Falcon Blade, then he's going to go BKB. Needs to be a little bit careful going down, though.
Delu's trying to charge up the Illuminate, but Savage is already repositioned himself away from the blast. Delu? It's a lot of damage with 3 points in Plasma Field. Not respecting how much burst Savage can dish out.
So, like I was saying, the Talon roster, they're fine to farm, right? Like, it's going to get really active with their lineup once they hit that BKB on the Razor, once they get that first or maybe second key item on Makoto. But until then, they're fine with being a little bit more passive. And the thing about this build, this team lineup that they've got on Apes, Leshrac wants to be pushing towers, Dragon Knight wants to be pushing towers with his Elder Dragon form to get maximum utility out of it, and you're up against a Lina, you're up against a Razor. They can just TP to a lane, use their spells, and then suddenly you can't push anymore because the creep wave is gone. It's still super early on, and even a Dragon Knight can't tank up the towers that much.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Lane Q's gonna be in trouble. 3 second stun for Delu. They don't have any detection. So Q's able to scurry himself away. They are still continuing the chase. Once you see this pesky bug, still not being able to squash him just yet. So Talon, an early lead, 1,000 as their lane's off to a good start.
Nice rune to pick up on the top side for Mamang Dai. You need to make sure he's denying that away from Makoto. She will. I also want to see from UK, I really disliked the Midas build in game number 1. You had this such strong timing.
He's got Arena. They're going to rotate Q for good measure just to secure the kill on the Leshrac. Jikro once again goes down, second death of the game, and Talon, they can get firm control of this bottom side of the map.
Even my favorite item, the Infused Raindrops, wasn't able to save him. And that's kind of ironic. Like, I could see he's going for the Ring of Basilius for the laning stage, which it makes sense for the laning stage with a Leshrac, right? Just enabling him to spam out those spells a little bit more. But if he goes for a Veil this game and not last game, where literally every single hero on their lineup was able to do good magic damage, I'm going to be very confused, right? Because the DK and the Chaos Knight, they basically get 0 value out of it.
To KP. Jikro, does he consider going under the tower? Again, they've overset the boundary. Q's going to run into Jikro. It's just preventing them from protecting UK. As back they go, Jikro pump faking the split earth. Doesn't find the perfect angle. They're finally going to get the kill over to UK, but it will trade the life of Hyde as Lim being able to step in, providing Jikro with enough mana to be able to pump out that damage required. So 1-for-1, not the worst thing. You're giving a little bit over to Jikro, but it's still a lot of space creative. You know, Makoto's top of the net worth. Razor's having a really good lane.
And that's all you really care about, right? Like, yeah, it's unfortunate that KP isn't having the greatest of times, but even Q is having a very good early game, making sure to get multiple uses out of that Urn of Shadows. Unfortunately, he had to use the second charge onto KP just to make sure that he's able to stay in lane and farm. So it's really where Q is going to be looking for. Where can I find the kill next? But in the meantime, when he doesn't have that kill threat, he's just looking to camp around the runes, make sure that you're not giving any kind of surprise threat for the Apes. Because like I said, I still think they want to get active a little bit earlier than Talon, just because they've got the heroes to do so.
Are there any items that they need to be able to set themselves up to get active, though? Or do you feel like the heroes naturally can do it themselves?
I feel like the heroes can naturally do it themselves as long as, like... But you need to punish, like, some bad positioning coming through from Talon, right? Like, they don't know 23 Savage has no health and mana, so if they did, they could look to make a push happen. But while they still have that lack of information, Talon are doing very good at playing on the unknown, I suppose. They just need to be a little bit more passive, and it means that Mamang Daya has to go for this Blink Dagger. It just delays the timings a little bit further, and that just makes Savage get closer and closer towards picking up his first key item, which is going to be that BKB.
Do you feel like for the lads on Talon, though, we're looking at both BKBs, not just the one on Savage, but also if Makoto picks that up at a similar timing, is that when they're probably going to be the most powerful?
Oh, looks like they want to make a play now. You've got Hyde here with the Mass Serpent Wards, and that should be the first tower being contested this game. This is what you need to do, right? Yes, you've got the heroes to be able to push into towers. Chikroy's gone for a little bit more of a farming build, though. Just the 1 point in Diabolic Edict. So I'm not crazy about that, if I'm perfectly honest, but just have a look at how Mamang Daya reacts to all of that. He's like, okay, well, you're using the Mass Serpent Wards, you're using the Lina to push out bot. There's no real lane shove for mid. I'll try and take it. But Savage just very well positioned with that maxed out plasma field to be able to deny that counter push. So Talon, again, their positioning on the map has just been really good.
And it has to be concerned that Apes haven't really put too much damage into the towers. With the Lesh, with the Dragonite, it's mainly been the offlane where Delor's done a decent job with the previous catapult. So we'll look to see Apes and how they can bring themselves back in, though, with the blink timing from Mamang Daya. Strength is 3. KP's the target, but KP's not an easy kill. Double bracer. He's got some heroes starting to rotate to the area. Arena's going to be layered down with the spear follow-up, and if KP just survives... Oh, no! What a drastic way for him to escape out of the claws of Apes, and now they're going to lose 2 into a 3rd, potentially. Savage can close the distance, and that's a disaster! That is a horrible way for you to try and reveal your blink, and they get nothing out of it.
Yeah, they were trying to kind of have their cake and eat it too, right? If they could get the kill onto the Mars, then you know that there's no real team fight setup. But the fact that he gets away, they were also, by the way, trying to take the top tower, which they did still do at the end of the day, right? It was a 5v3, so you're going to probably die. If you get that kill and you take the tower, that is kind of worth it a little bit. But the fact that they were only able to get one of the two is that, yeah, not so much.
KP is struggling, though, in net worth. I guess he's gone for, you know, like we said before, double bracer, soul ring, but blink will be coming out surely. Is this an issue for Talon with maybe how far behind Mars is, or it's really not a concern?
He's not the one that needs the farm, right? Like, he's got a decent amount of bulk to himself. He's already 1600 health. He's got some okay armor. Blink Dagger is all he really needs, right? Anything beyond that is just a luxury. He's going to go into the BKB, you would assume, just so he's able to negate a lot of that damage potential. But right now, it's just, okay, is Razor farming? Is Lina farming? Great. I don't care. I'm able to give my life away. And it's a pretty consistent trend that you see with a lot of KP games, that he's very sacrificial, unless he's playing something like a Doom. Then he just goes full greed.
Sure. So you're just happy with, as long as he gets a decent arena round in fight, that's really his job this game?
Yeah, pretty much. Soak up a lot of the damage coming through, even just against a Dragon Knight, right? Pop up the Bulwark, moonwalk backwards, and hopefully that enables your Razor and Lina to dish out the damage that they have the potential to do.
You got Blink now onto KP with double BKB about to be completed. Makoto has his, still 23 Savage, just needing the gold for the recipe. I imagine we're going to see Talon look to make a play around the tier 1 mid, so that can just open up the map after that.
This is about how I expected the start to work out. Maybe a couple more towers could have been contested by the Apes, but I feel like Talon, their positioning has just been really good. And yeah, it's almost go time. It's another game where Talon are really respecting their early timings. They're looking to group together, go for a smoke here as 3. You're playing around Makoto, who's got his BKB available. 23 Savage. He's not going to be there quite yet, but I feel like if you're getting these
showing
key
the lane, KP is
yeah,
going to reveal the blink, and he doesn't get the hood before the speed connection. And once again, Hyde is able to drop the Serpent Wards right out front of the tower, so they should be able to convert this to a little bit of damage.
But Savage is bullied back a little bit here. You know, they're trying to again get double objectives out. Oh, they go for the full wraparound Q. Find anyone.
Radiant's middle
Oh,
tower.
they know he's
STPs.
hanging around.
Yeah.
Nice little defense, though, by the Apes. Yeah, you lose one, but costs a lot. No Arena, no Mass Serpent Wards. BKB used on the Lina.
And like you said, Savage was also being bullied from being able to connect, and he didn't have his BKB just yet, so maybe there's a little bit of a go time for Apes. You know, all of this is not available for the fight, and you have Elder Dragon form.
Level 2 Elder Dragon form as well, and a Siege Creep, so very nicely done by them to be able to negate a lot of that. They're still playing
They're
quite scared. And
yeah.
I'm kind of surprised. I mean, they don't have team fight until this Razor comes in with the BKB. He's got it now. Just wanting to secure that DD on the bottom side of the river, but finally they're able to pick it up. You don't want to give that over to Mikoto. Not Alina with double damage. Oof.
They might just smoke again. They've got some pretty good vision on the map on Talon. One aggressively at Radiant's Triangle. They've got one that's scouting out UK by the top outpost, so this definitely could be go time. Yeah, they're gonna.
AP, how quick is he on the fingers? Just able to get away.
Look to show mid, just trying to beat onto the tower. Seeing if there's any reactions while the other team sweep the top as Jikroy. Oh, they're stalking the Lash, and there we go. KP once again. All he needs is just the arena laid down so Savage can get in the middle and do the dirty work. It's a quick and easy kill, and now the double damage from Mikoto underneath the T2 tower. As Talon getting 2 separate kills across the map along with the objective.
And that ward that you talked about before, it gives him all the information that he needs. He knows that the DK and the Chaos Knight made the rotation towards the mid lane, so he's just be able to play back. He knows that Among Dire probably isn't going to rip that super deep one.
It's got Blink! Oh my, what an initiation hide. Serpent Ward's used the quick and easy kill, and now you're only hoping. Oh, it's a 4-second stun, but there's no follow-up. So Mikoto easily out after another kill onto Among Dire.
They're just playing it really well on Talon. You know, they aren't, I suppose, able to take any objectives off of that, but any time that you're just getting a core kill means the Razor gets closer to building into that refresher. And it feels like Talon, their draft is just a lot more streamlined with how exactly they want to play and what they're able to prevent Apes from doing as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Hello? I run into Q. Dashing through the tree line, the Luz will be able to find the vision. The KP unable to land the spear, but that's where Savage maybe can come into play. As long as they've got some form of control to enable Savage, and he just soaks away Chaos Knight's damage along with his health.
It's from Hyde as well, just making sure to stand, utilize that night time.
Among Dire. Oh, KP, what is that? Arena onto 3, Mikoto and Savage. Doing all the work that would ever require as Mikoto standing the ground through the BKB. The Edict's not going to tick him out. They're still going to respect some of Jikroy's damage once the BKBs expire. And the Lesh is being enabled thanks to the Cotter, but KP's going to jump back in once again. They don't get the speed connection, pushing him closer to Savage is all they need as Razor finds a triple, and it's a 5-man wipe at the remnants of the Tier 1 tower.
Just really good team fight overall. What an arena, like you said. Being able to catch up onto 3. They don't have those BKVs available just yet on the Apes, so it feels like there's not too much that they could do to contest that. There's just so much impact coming out from these 3 cores.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh yes, Savage is already half his way towards Refresher. Beautiful timings for the Razor, 4, 1, and 6, and saw how scary he was able to be on the Deucer in game 1, and you know, he's living up to it in this game as well. As mid, well, Delul, that's
a big kill, 1,000 gold for free.
How?
Phantasm.
Yeah, but how's he even get onto Lina without her popping BKB? He had no invis, nothing like that.
Scanning.
Wasn't a blink?
Yeah, good question. Has good now.
Yeah, now he's got blink. Even though it's a 7,000 deficit, do Apes have the damage and the items to be able to hit back throughout this mid game, or is it starting to be a bit of a concern?
I feel like once you get the BKBs, you do. Until that point, though, not so much. They'll get the free kill onto Q.
He's gonna land the arena so Savage can just lead in, instantly taking Jikroy out of the equation, and now they'll turn to Mamangdara as well. Savage gonna pay some respect to Delu. With the BKB expired from the Razor, Chaos Knight proving to be an issue. A solo kill on the Lina prior, and now killing off Razor. All right, Apes, do you get KP? You got the vision? Oh, so close to finding KP as well, but it's a decent fight. A 3-for-1 in the end for the lads on Apes.
Honestly, really surprising that they're able to do all of this without that BKB. I'm just going to keep saying it. As Makoto, what did he just Laguna Blade? Was it a creep? Well, he's going to get caught out.
It was
here.
Ogre.
Okay.
He tried to solo kill UK, but all of the Apes are like, no sir, we're going to protect our captain. We're trying to step in.
Still though, that was a
smoke.
I mean, why not? That was a
like
BKB
this.
used by Makoto. Just find him.
I like this. KP's got solo positioning. They're going to just
doesn't
sneak past the Mars, and now they're onto the Lina. Great play from Apes. Rapid move from them to go to the triangle, recognizing Lina without BKB is vulnerable to the attempt.
This is exactly what I wanted to see out of them from game number one. You know, they did it for the first little bit, but it felt like after that 20-minute mark, they just completely went away from what gave them that early lead. And now that they're behind, they've really come out of their shell. And
we're also seeing the issues with the Razor Chaos Knight matchup. You know, it's something that Fear was mentioning in the draft, but if it doesn't matter if you soak away a little bit of damage in the Chaos Knight, he's got the Phantasm, he just instantly beelines to Savage, and it should get it somewhat easy though, because he's gonna have refresher shortly, so double BKB, so he can keep moving around, just kiting the CK, and plate mail afterwards is kind of the big item where Savage should start to be a little bit more comfortable in fights.
Yeah, I think you just need to emphasize a lot of that AoE damage potential, right? The Shivas is going to be very effective, not just for the armor, but also for the way that you can instantly look to clear out a lot of those CK illusions. I think they're just going to start putting a lot more emphasis onto that, reducing the damage that they're able to output on the CK. And, well, I think it'll work for them, but these Duseals need to perhaps build a tiny bit more defensively here. But Makoto, he's going that full glass cannon build, Shadow Blade into Silver Edge.
Oh, with a hero like the Mars to be able to protect you, it's a beautiful way for Lina to play this game. You just lay down the arena, Razor can even run in, you even have the potential of Q having the Aghanim Scepter time lapse if ever Makoto is in a tricky situation.
I believe Jikroy has the Bloodstone completed now as well if he wants it. So just hit up onto level 15 as the point booster delivered, as the recipe. So that's going to be a big timing for him coming through.
Alright, looking at it back though. 3,000 net worth lead for Talon.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh no.
Dude, I'm getting major deja vu. Oh no. Does that happen to you in class?
A little bit, yeah. You said you dream about Dota?
A couple times. Not often though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you win TI? You dream about Dota?
So you know what's going to happen before it happens?
Fast! What? Oh, what do you know?
Damage, man.
What do you know? It's a good old DD.
And it's the Mass Serpent Wards, right? Deals piercing damage to Roshan, so it's just so fast.
I hate this, man. I hate DD in front of Roche. I just hate DD in general. You have to have half effectiveness on Roche or something.
Surely they could just code it into the game that, like, if Roshan equals alive, DD rune equals negative.
What do you think Deja Vu is?
Tower is under attack.
What?
What do you think Deja Vu is? Back on my previous tangent. We got a little bit of a break.
Like, what caused your deja vu, or what is deja vu in general?
In general, yeah.
I know what deja vu is.
No,
It's
come
when
on, give
you
me your.
experience
Come on,
something.
yeah,
It's
but
when
give me
you
your.
experience something that you feel like you've experienced before.
Okay, what? Why is deja vu a thing?
Oh, we're all psychic secretly. They're going out to the UK. And,
No,
well,
we don't care. I want to hear thought process about this. Oh no! All right, fine. It's alright. We're all psychic apparently. That is. I mean, Danog does say he's the Oracle. He's been a bit off the mark lately with his predictions, but we'll slide past that.
all right, 4 down. Calm down.
Yeah. Okay. Talon. Let's see. I mean, this Aegis, they should be able to get all the outer towers. They've got plenty of time to be able to work with. Looks like tier 2 bottom is the first on their list.
Is there anything that causes deja vu for you a little bit more?
I don't think so. Like, it's just
I
a
always
random...
think, like, in social situations, it just happens to me. I'm like, I've had this conversation before, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's happens on... There's no particular scenario. Like you said, social more for you. But I feel like anything, if like I was playing sports a lot when I was younger, so any sport environment that I was in, or social like you said, or even just chilling in my room or something like that, all of a sudden pops up. Deja vu is a weird thing. I'd love the answers. That's where I was expecting you to provide me. I'm a young boy looking for answers to life, and you didn't provide me them, and I feel lost now.
Bro, that sounds a bit creepy. I'm a young boy.
Well, I'm okay. Well, that's just your mind. I'm
A young lad.
A young lad, the boomer as you are, and the zoomer as I am, KP. And this is valuable target. If they can catch Jikroy, he's got the Bloodstone if he can activate this, but the BKB is going to prevent all the damage so he doesn't get any spell life still. As Jikroy falls under the pump, and now Talon, we're speaking about how they can get all these outer towers with the Aegis, and that kill should make it that much more easier.
There's been a few times where Jikro's just been caught out of position just slightly away from a lot of those big item timings. Like now he's got the Chiron Sarge. Could that have enabled him to get the Bloodstone off that little bit earlier so that he's able to survive? Of course, the extra HP and spell lifesteal that you're able to get from it is amazing. But the thing is, like, it's not even... He's not suffering massively in net worth. Like, he's a little behind, but he's keeping up with the pace. The one that's fallen behind a fair way is Mamang Dyer, actually. He's been looking to make a lot of these active plays happen, but it's 28 minutes in, and he's only been involved in 3 kills.
Yeah, even though the kills look really bad for Apes, I'm surprised at how kind of close the net worth is. It doesn't feel like they're that far behind, but do we... Because I know we were speaking a lot about kind of earlier on Apes needing to push the tempo, but is this something that they have a lineup where maybe there's a timing later on?
For Apes?
Can they match Talon late game, or is this continuing like it's a ticking time bomb?
Just trying to think, like... If they all have BKBs, and they all have... Like, the heroes are pretty fast outside of the Ogre Magi, especially if the Dragon Knight's able to eventually get an Aghanim Scepter as well. So you might be able to just run away from the Razor while he's got the static link onto you. Like, Keeper of the Light, incredibly fast. Leshrac, very fast. Chaos Knight, pretty much the same. And as long as you've got that cliff pathing on a DK, I feel like it could... I mean, he's got the Quicksilver Amulet, right? So that just provides him with that extra movement speed burst as well. So I feel like it's just going to be, if it goes late, you just need to try and find a way to disengage away from 23 Savage. Because as of right now, they have nothing that stuns.
He's under the ward. They know no one's behind him. Dude, what is that damage on Delul? KP's got the follow-up, and how can they protect the Chaos Sniper? Among guys got the follow-up on the backline. They'll drag him inside the arena as Delul showing this position 3 Chaos Knight. He can actually do them damage, and they cancel the TP. Oh, Apes, that is perfect. What a hold into the Aegis advantage, just Delul. My man, what a fight.
I can hear Sheepo on the couch right now just going, let's go, off-lane Chaos Knight, suck it Fear, all those sorts of things, just saying, I was right, you were wrong. He is doing a crazy amount of work this game. 6-2-2, the damage output as well from Delul is just insane, nearly 5,000 damage on his own in that engagement.
Oh,
Dire's top tower
you see,
He's got that movement speed
Lincoln's.
as well. He's got the spider legs, right? So it
Yes, sir.
provides you a way to get away from the Razor, B, a way to go for more of those surprise ganks.
So what's the
Gonna
thought
be
process now on
both towers
Dalog?
gone.
Does he look to scale? Like in damage-wise, I suppose, because he has a heart, but you really build as like a position 1 now?
I suppose so. He still doesn't have the BKB, which is a little bit concerning for me, just because the arena is still going to have a good level of impact for you. But
There's no way they get this.
why not? No glyph, no cause.
Danog, Talon
the
haven't even
bongos.
hit the high ground. Like, what? What just happened? I feel like this is Talon's supposed to be the first team getting a tier 3 tower, not Apes.
3 cores died without buyback because they were comfortable around an Aegis that had 10 seconds left. So they were like, well, even if Makoto dies, it'll be fine. I think he might have actually even got a ward trapped at the time as well by his own teammate, which was a little awkward.
Well, Makoto's got Lincoln's now, so Lincoln's BKB. See if that's going to be enough to protect him throughout these fights.
Talul is just playing as an assassin this game. He's got the Shadow Blade queued up. He's got a Blink Dagger. He's got the Spider Legs. Like, anyone that's even slightly out of position is just going to get completely wiped off this map. Don't have a ton of vision to play around, though, I suppose. It's just this... the Dire jungle at the moment. Dire, he's built up a little bit now. He's nearly reached up to his level 20, so I would assume he's just going to go into the 20 strength to be able to withstand a lot of that damage potential coming out from Talon.
Dire are scanning.
They did also just pick up the Scepter on Q, so good luck killing off a key component. I think
Well, I don't know. CK damage is kind of fast.
that's very true. It pretty much just 2-hit the Lena.
Yeah.
So does Makoto have to consider an
That's what I was
armor
talking
item,
about, right? Like,
or-
yeah, he was going that full glass cannon build, and you thought it was great because of the Mars, which I agree with. But that sort of situation can still happen, right? Where you just get completely burst, 100-0, just because you have no defenses.
Maybe this is where Savage now has to consider Assault Cuirass with his plate mail. Like he's got Shiva recipe, so never mind. So he's
Dire's
all into Shiva and Mars. Well, you're not an AC builder, like you, not this game though. You want the double arena to protect the Lena. So
Yeah,
I
really like this from
that's-
Savage. They need a way to deal with those CK illusions very quickly. I honestly, like, who do they want to put out onto the front lines is my main question, right? Like, who can actually survive the burst potential? At the moment, I feel it's Savage. He's got the most HP on his team, actually, and by far the most armor. So you've got that, you can just lay Q behind him, make sure that you're in a safe space to be able to withstand a lot of that early damage, and then once the Phantasm's been popped, just Shiva's Guard, BKB, Eye of the Storm, Plasma Field, Refresher, Shiva's Guard again. Those illusions need to die ASAP, and then I feel like if that happens, the team fight's yours.
That ward positioning, just by the hard cam's gonna see KP starting to path his way to the top outposts. As looks like UK's gonna be the one assaulted on first. They've also caught my main Dire off to the western side. A great jump in from Hyde before Staff able to reposition out of the trap. So Meng Dai has an opportunity to pop the BKB as it looks like it's just retreat as best as possible on Apes. To Lul and Lim out to the tree line they can go, so they'll TP out. Oh, look at this. This is fast. Down to the bottom outpost. Great read from Jikroy. Okay, he's chilling.
Just able to get out in time. Where did they TP from? Was it under vision? That's the only thing I can think of, because my man had a fat creep wave there that he wanted to farm.
I wonder if they can still fight, because BKB's on cooldown, but you need to pop the Lincolns on Makoto. That's the huge thing. It's not easy. They're going to run into KP. KP? Oh, he's had enough time to pop the BKB. Duel's trying to juke and jive, misses out on the spear, but now Savage and the rest of Talon, they've had enough time to be able to react. Savage going to try and charge him forward, soak away the damage from Dalul without the Phantasm. This is the one fight the Chaos side's going to be unable to dish out any damage. But they split up the static link, so both the heroes survived. That were the initial targets, just Jikroy's him. But even with the BKB, they have to respect Savage's damage. Plus 300 as Jikroy dies for another time.
Another time, it's all on the back of Hyde. Just a really good shackles from far away. I like his build as well. He went into the shackles last. That was the last skill that he looked to skill up because, you know, you're very squishy. You need to rely on getting a good amount of farm to be able to pick up both the Blink Dagger and the 8th Lens to get maximum value out of it.
Can they fight? Makoto, the jump in Lincolns, but he's had the opportunity to pop the BKB, and Hyde now chasing the Chaos Knight. Have the control and the vision as well.
Happens. That's what happens.
Oh, that's a shaman. Come on now.
I know, but I'm saying, like, previously he made sure to max out the Hex when he just had the Blink Dagger. You know, he's now got the level 15 talent, of course, with the extra second on the shackles. But yeah, it just feels very, very awkward to be in any kind of these engagements. It almost feels like you need to be like a Blink Hex into run away, into hopefully by the second time I come around, all of their suns are on cooldown, and then maybe I have some kind of impact.
Apes. Well, they're actually still thinking about coming on Talon. I'm just going to scout them out. They need to kill Roche fast because KP's about to respawn and they have the outpost. They're going to buy back on Shaman as well. Roche is not falling, and Apes...
Among is out of Dragon.
I don't know how you can take this fight now without the Dragon. KP lands the arena just onto the Ogre. Radiant, they've done a decent job to evacuate away from the area. They just look to focus the Shaman TPing back into the outpost. But they don't have Jig Royce and Talon just blinking mindlessly inside the pit. But a beautiful timing on the sphere pushes him out of range to steal anything. Talon playing on the edge, but still queuing. KP continuing to hunt. There's going to be no escape as KP can find him in the shadows.
Are under attack.
And their base is getting hit, though. They're going to be able to back off in time. Was it Lena that ended up picking up the Aegis?
What's going on, Q? Gonna be ran into, but I don't... The Dragon Knight's Coddle, that's not a damage compo that you would really think of. And he doesn't have a TP, so he can't really just BKB TP out, but Jigro, that's where he comes into play. You push Savage back to the base as well. He was forced to defend, so he won't be set up for round 2, but it looks like there will not be a round 2, so get the Aegis advantage out of the hands of Talon.
That was a busy couple of minutes or so around that Roche fight. It just feels like Apes, it goes back to the comfort with being able to play in a high-stakes game at this, like, mid to late game, right? Because they just didn't full-on commit into that Roshan, and I feel like if you don't do that and you don't have the Elder Dragon form, you just can't fight. And Talon, it felt like just using the Shiva's Guard, they were using a lot of this vision potential, just to be able to see, okay, what's the status on this DK? Can we look to fight into him? Can we kill him? And they felt like they did have the availability to do so. So, again, it just comes down to these very minor things that only come from experience.
And that fight gives them a lot of experience as well. That end goal, but Makoto's now 25, so he's got the attack range. 23 Savage, along with the Lena's level, now has the 80 attack speed. And now Hackenham Scepter top lane just ran into Lim. KP holding the gem, but really nicely played. Okay, they have to drop the arena for the kill. Not the longest cooldown, but at least it puts Coddle off the map, so it will really help with their lanes.
He tried playing the bongos there on the Keeper of the Light, but he was inside the arena, so still ends up going down. I'm happy that Delul has changed things up a little bit. He had the Silver Edge queued on the Chaos Knight, and I am not a fan of Chaos Knight buying that because it actually has a weird interaction with a Chaos Strike where you don't get lifesteal because the Silver Edge crit for more most of the time. So it can actually end up griefing you in a lot of these engagements. Instead, he's just still going into that full-on pick-off with going into the Hex.
How can we see Apes enable Jigro in these fights? Is it...
Sorry, I just want to have a look at this mid lane. Like, it's kind of pushed in a little bit, maybe trying to find someone out. Yeah.
Oh, they don't get the connection. Play we see often where you've got someone sieging tier 2 tower, you drop the ward on the high ground, anticipating the enemy team to start to TP back to get set up for the defense, and this time they won't be able to get the catch, but they still have the vision now for the siege.
Yeah, and they've got a Bloodlust for the tower as well, so it'll clear these wards pretty quickly. They got to make sure they're playing on the left-hand side of this as well, right? Because they're just playing right under vision right now. Have to be careful. Like a Blink Spear could be the end of you.
Q is getting a blink delivered as well. So now you will have a much easier time landing the Ag's time lapse. I do want to go back on the question real quick. How can Apes get Jikroy into this game? I know it's very late, 40 minutes in, he's 3, 8, and 4, but how do you have the Lesh? How do you enable him to have a good fight?
I mean, I feel like a lot of it is going to be on the back of Mamang Daya, right? Like, he is very tanky. He's this level 23 Dragon Knight. He went for the 20 Strength talent. He's got the Quickening Charm. So you're going to have a lot of uptime with that Elder Dragon form. He needs to be first. You know, he needs to be first in a lot of these engagements with the Bloodlust onto him so that once a lot of those stuns and BKBs have been used, that's the time for Jikroy to have the impact.
See, Daya, they do have double arena as a potential. I think right now my eyes are on how Apes can kill the Shaman and the Weaver. One, because I think Shaman's control is really important just to help Makoto right-click for free and Savage so he doesn't get kited. And of course Weaver because of the time-lapse save. And I think if you can get rid of those heroes and kite the arena as well, then you will see. That's a lot though. That is a lot they need to do, and it's not going to be easy at all.
They're not going to have the Phantasm for this fight either. You had Delul pop it on the top side to create some pressure, but they're feeling confident of just being able to play behind Makoto.
Four out of the 5 heroes, KP gets a jump 4 staff actually into the hands of Talon and KP. What an arena once again onto 3 heroes, so Talon just rains down hell as Savage gets a triple. And other numbers dwindling as along with the objectives, and Talon, I mean, they might just get out with no one dying. Hide. Back in KP goes. An arena onto Jikroy along with Limp. But Jikroy, that's a decent stun. Clipping multiple heroes. They'll get the life of KP. Makoto's going to try and TP out, but they don't have the detection or a way to cancel as Talon get out with murder.
Yeah, that was what happens as well. You got the light show coming through from 23 Savage. Amazing use of the refresher. And just a huge amount of damage coming through in that engagement. Really nice arena use by the Mars, disrupting what Apes were trying to do. They want to try and get this burst potential onto the squishiest hero on Talon's side in Hide, so that you need to use that early time lapse. Like if you're using it onto a Shadow Shaman, I mean, they did eventually, but that was after they'd taken the racks, killed 3 heroes, and forced out 2 buybacks. You were one of those people that fought back.
He's got Mamang Dai starting to pivot to his area, but it's not even going to matter. The Lord just feeds away his life, and now you baited the Dragon Knight to overstep. He's going to end up joining him in the afterlife. And now 3 heroes down, all of them without buyback. This, I think it's just game.
I think it's game as well. I mean, KP ends up giving Hyde the tip. I wonder what was going on in the voice comm. Something like, hey, watch this guy. He's going to try and come for me when I stand around this rude timing. And he was bang on the money. Doing his best up on the top side here is Jikroy to try and force their attention away. But there is no reason for Talon to want to TP back. They can just easily take the second lane of Brax. They won't be able to mega. Still got that tier 2 tower on the top side. But I mean, he can potentially even just go for throne here.
Ice Storm up in a couple of seconds with the Scepter on Savage. Oh, go Serpent Wards as well for good measure.
There we go. Eye of the Storm.
Oh, they're falling so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta pull something out of the hat. Series is on the line here for Apes. And it looks like without a way to jump in, a Hex on Hyde to start. KP with the follow-up, but it's just kiting them. It's just giving space so Savage can kill off some of the other heroes. And won't chase down Lim. But in the end, Makoto stands his ground. Look at the damage just raining in. The G's are dropped, and Talon continuing with their dominant run. They are now able to even the series count with Arashi on top 5 apiece.
And the games count as well, right? Both of them haven't dropped a single game during the DPC, which means that series is going to be even more hype when it does eventuate. But Apes, has to be said, I feel like they put up a lot more of a fight than what a lot of people were expecting. This was top of the table against bottom, and we still got 2 pretty entertaining games out of it.
Yeah, that we did. I was very impressed with Apes. Feels awkward to say in a way because we did see Talon. They looked very dominant as well, but Apes in game 1 with how strong they looked in kind of the first 17 minutes, and there were definitely signs of life for them. And it was almost in the interview they were saying they were going to use this series a lot to learn and see how they could kind of better themselves for other games after this, but at the end of the day, Talon just too strong once again, and this sets us up perfectly. Like you said, both teams 5-0 and the map count 10-0, so we're looking for that all granddaddy of a match with Talon up against RSG, but that'll be at a later stage. We need to send it over break where the panel will break this series down and then set ourselves up for the next series.
Talon do eventually get the 2-0 in that series, but their game number 2, everyone thought that Apes weren't going to win this series, but I've got to say, there's a lot of positives they can take from that one. There was a good back and forth, and yet again, Apes didn't just get rolled over that, a lot of people were expecting them to. For you, Fia, I want to ask you first about the CK, and then I'm going to ask Sheep about it, but for you, did it have an impact? Are you a little bit impressed with the CK position 3?
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of impact this game. But like the reason why I didn't like the CK3 is because I don't know an item build to make it like a utility offlaner. And they were just like, screw it. It's just our carry, and they didn't pick a carry. They just picked carry Lesh in the safe lane, which isn't a traditional carry. So they just gave him the space to play like a carry, and he did some really good things this game. I mean, honestly, if he would have kept up this tempo, they probably would have won, but unfortunately there's quite a few blunders on his end towards the end, and threw it all away.
It was close, but for you, Sheep, is there anything you want to say about this post 3 CK that you so predicted?
I don't know, man. Fear was really humble, so like I can't really brag. It kind of sucks. Like, what can you do?
Fair.
I mean, my man was great though. He popped off in his lane. He got the kill on Razor. This is a hero that's meant to dominate melee offlaners, and CK bit back hard. His item build was fun. Obviously, he went the Blink Shadowblade like armlet and hot. It was just kind of sad towards the end because like he tried to go on Mars with no ult, kind of got like ran down. He didn't die, but like he kind of caused his team to get like baited into a fight and die. And then again, he like tried to kill Shaman with no buyback and just sort of ruined the game.
I mean, he was saving a lot of gold, like trying to get a hex at the end or a sheep stick.
What? He said it!
He should have.
He said the line.
He should have bought a BKB with that money.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, dude. Just buy the BKB. He got like caught so much and just disabled in one fight completely. And if he had a BKB and just, buying back on a CK with no ultimate doesn't really do anything, to be honest. It was just like, I don't know, I had high hopes for him. He played so well, but at the end, it really just fell flat.
100%. The other thing that I wanted to ask about on the side of Talon this time, though, is that laning phase for Mars, right? I would say it definitely did not meet the Talon standard when it comes to laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, he did okay, but he did. I mean, the CS wasn't that bad, but I think he died a couple times in the lane.
Yeah.
They got a couple pickoffs. But to be fair, the Ogre Leshrac it's not like a real carry, right? Leshrac is a strong laner. Ogre is a stun. Can't miss your follow-up stun on Leshrac. So it's really just a very strong lane, so I don't blame him too much on that one.
I remember Lesh dying. We take those.
Yeah.
We take those. Fat W.
For you guys, what would be the one thing you want to say to Apes to take away from this series?
Keep your heads up, King. I mean, especially Momong Dai is just like such a good player. He was doing amazing in both games, I'd say. From mid, crushed it as Lina, who was going like even and ahead against Lina as Dragon Knight. I think that was like super impressive when I checked the board on the left. I was like, yo, he's actually just totally keeping up. And it's just a shame because like their moves kind of like folded off a little bit, he got his blink and then they smoked up with the Dragon Knight and then instantly all died in a team fight. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's some positives for Apes, but the winners were Talon, which means we get to speak to one of their players. This time we're going to be having Hyde join us. Hyde, congratulations on the win. I want to ask, how are you guys preparing for this series?
Yeah, we prepare a lot. Like we're playing Scream around BO6 like almost every day. So we prepared a lot of stuff for them.
Yeah. Was there anything specific for Apes that you prepared for?
I mean, we just scared of their TC pick, like Huskar, Viper, something like that, because the mid player is liking that's kind of hero.
Yeah.
My question is like, you guys look like, is that the gaming house or are you at it now?
Yeah, it is.
It looks really nice. Are all the computers on the same floor or are they on different floors? Because that looks like a sick setup. And then my second question, Dota related, will be you ended up picking up the Grimstroke in the first game,
Mm-hmm.
but normally Q is playing that. What was the decision for you to play it in game 1?
I mean, at that time that we are planning to pick some Grimstroke first, and after they pick Mirana and Sand King, we kind of thinking that this is might be a Abaddon game, so we just pick it. But later on, we kind of have a problem of lacking stun, but we just taking objective and force them to come back.
You guys, what did you when you saw the CK pick in the off lane and like saw the Leshrac, like how do you kind of deal with that, like in terms of priority? Do you kind of view CK as more important to shut down, like even though he's kind of their off laner, or like do you still focus like their carry in Leshrac and prioritize him more?
Actually, when we thinking about the draft, I thought that it's a mid Leshrac and a carry CK, but I'm wrong. And in the laning phase, the Ogre Leshrac is really strong, so I cannot punish him that much after we got level 6 when we can kill him one time. And after that, I feel like we can win all 3 lanes except my lane, I guess. But I think it's still okay. But in the mid game, he's pretty strong because he keeps splitting and have a lot of network. He's playing like carry.
Thank you.
Because you guys are in a gaming house, is there anything you guys do after win? Anything special?
We always have a team dinner after we play DPC games, so maybe after this we gonna eat dinner together.
Well, congratulations again. Enjoy the dinner and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Bye. Very nice. Very cute, wholesome moments that they all go to dinner after a DPC game. For you guys, Talon expectations as they come into their last few series. Would you be surprised if they end up going undefeated this whole
No,
tour?
I would not be surprised. They look like the strongest to me,
Mhm.
and they have like some of the biggest names in the Division 2, I think.
Yeah.
They
So,
haven't
well,
played against RSG, right? I mean, not that I think,
Right.
like, I don't know who's the better team of the two. Obviously, they're both, like, right up there, but I think that's probably, like, the hype match everyone's going to be looking forward to in
Yeah.
Div 2. Can't wait to see who wins that and comes out on top, but I expect both these teams will be the ones going to Div 1 next season.
I do look forward to seeing what is in store for the rest of Division 2, but we do have a Division 1 series coming up that's going to be between T1 and Neon after a bit of a break.